ARESxGOD here, and it's time to talk about Mushoku. And honestly, this episode was so fun and wholesome. And like Rudy even put it in his own words, he was the odd man out throughout the entire episode. Things were happening to him and around him with everything. And honestly, the character we get introduced in this episode, I was laughing so much as his personality, the action he was doing, that one being ZANOBA. Such a fun episode, and towards the end, so many wholesome scenes, especially with Aisha and Lilia. So let's get into it and talk about it. Now, at the beginning of the episode, we get to see a bit of what Lilia and Aisha went through when the teleportation incident happened. I liked how Lilia, her first reaction when she saw that big beam of light in the distance, was instantly to go to Aisha, hug her, and just be there for her. And thankfully, this allowed them to be together when everybody got separated. They were teleported into a lake or a swamp or something. Aisha almost drowned a bit, but thankfully she survived. And we see their actions and how they got to this point. They went to Chiron, were looking for Roxy, trying to get some help, and this is where scummy shit packs intervened and kind of ruined everything they were trying to do there to get some help, and he imprisoned them, wanting to use them as tools to get to Roxy. But unfortunately, for Pax, things didn't really go his way, but we will get to that. Now, I like that Rudy's kind of got used to it the same way when he was in the Beast Village imprisoned. This one, again, he was having his own free apartment, listing the amenities, the features, everything that was there. He was definitely used to being imprisoned, to say the least, explaining everything over there. But even himself, he admitted he wanted some help from Ruijerd and Ares. But I like those reactions or the bravado he put, so to say, when he's imprisoned. Now, this is where my favorite character in this episode shows up. I didn't know what to expect when he walked in, but I was very, very pleasantly surprised, being ZANOBA, Shirone, the third prince. He shows up with a Ruijerd figurine over there. Okay, this dude has a figurine. Okay, let's see where this is going. Rudy was trying to play coy, pretending he doesn't know where he obtained it, just randomly from merchant. Even slowly, I got to see that ZANOBA was very into those figurines, quite obsessed or fanatic about about them. And he even had a Roxy figurine, the one that Rudy made way back then. And we find out that Pax bought it, and ZANOBA got it from him. He kind of traded everything he could for that figurine. He was so attracted to it, the art style and everything, so he went to explain the figurine in details, how intricate it was, every feature it had. The robe was detachable. Even I was surprised how much effort Rudy put into that figurine, how well made it was. Like, probably if it would we had it here in real world, so to say, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like $1,000 at least. Honestly, so much detail and work into it. Like I said, the robe was detachable, showing Roxy in her underwear trying to cover her chest with her arm. And there was an extra arm over there. If you took the robe out, it had an arm holding the staff. If you showed her without the robe, there was an extra arm to cover her chest. And the mole that kind of connected them in a way, because ZANOBA removed the robe, but that mole was very specific over there to give it a shameful look in a way for Roxy. And while Rudy was explaining to ZANOBA what he did, ZANOBA couldn't believe what he has done, ruined a work of art, so to say, the mystery and the shamefulness, the plastered look that it gave to the statue. And they kind of bond a bit in a way. And honestly, I gotta say, the more I saw of ZANOBA, the more I started liking him. And even Rudy said, this guy reminds me of somebody, just people rushing over to get the merchandise they want over there. And instantly ZANOBA wanted to become Rudy's pupil. Hey master, let me do anything, what can I do to prove myself to you? Even wanted to kiss Rudy's foot, but the barrier was in the way. I gotta say, ZANOBA was pretty awesome. But before we get to my favorite scene, I have a bit of a different scene. The guards made contact with Rigerd, and Ares wanted to make a deal with them, and I gotta say, Ginger played a very important role in resolving this entire situation. They wanted Ares and Rigerd to save their families from Pax. We get confirmation. I forgot to mention last video that in the last scene there was a mention there that Pax was threatening them with their families, and in this episode we get confirmation that all of the guards, or at least most of the guards, are under duress thanks to Pax. Ares instantly wanted to go and save them. Rouget also, no, stay here, protect Aisha, that's a very important job to do also. And I'll take care of it with my eye. He just pointed to it. He didn't really tell them. They find out later that he's a superb. They're scared, but they were okay to it, and I feel like this is gonna help Roger quite a lot with his reputation spreading, so to say. So pretty much everybody wins in this episode except Pax, but we will get to that. Now we find out that ZANOBA literally traded everything, his servants, everything he had to get that figure. So he's more than obsessed about it. But I like that Rudy kind of saw the advantage of the situation, kind of threatening him in a playful way. Hey, I'm gonna expel you as my pupil if you don't take care of this. Just work harder for it, so to say. And this is where ZANOBA just impressed me quite a lot. He just said, all I have to do is something about Pax, right? Okay. He just walked out. Wait, what's happening? What are you gonna do? What's your plan? This is why I said he was the odd man out. Now we find out that the blessed child was a threat. Alarms were popping off all over the place. He has this special power. Even had an incident with his younger brother, tore out his head when they were younger. I was like, is this a new character? Are we gonna get introduced to one new character, kind of gonna ruin all of the setups we've had so far? But no, this blessed child is in fact ZANOBA. Hey, things are getting more interesting. You see this hand when Pax was sleeping, just grabbing him by the neck. And from there I was, ZANOBA, you're my bro, dude, I like you. Please, I wanna see more of you. And we even find out his nickname, the Decapitator Prince, and he just grabs Pax and Ares. While she was hearing this, she wanted to fight the blessed child because he was strong. But we don't really get an Ares versus ZANOBA because ZANOBA has his own plan to get his own master, being Rudy, and he just brings Pax like a ragdoll in front of Rudy. And that was my favorite scene. I was laughing so much thanks to ZANOBA. I like him, a man of his word over there. And even Ginger was in a tough spot while Pax was begging for his life. Let me go, Ginger, save me, anything over there. Ares was at the perfect moment there. Don't worry about your families, they're being rescued by the superb Rigerd, and this is where it's gonna help his reputation. All of them are in a much better place. They don't have to worry about their families. Now we find out that Ginger was ZANOBA's servant previously, so she kind of set up in motions everything. Even Rudy mentioned it a bit later on that she was the one that gave the statue to ZANOBA to kind of put this entire thing into motion to get ZANOBA in front of Rudy. And that scene where ZANOBA just with one hand just, you feel like he was gonna open a bag of packed chips. Honestly, just open it right there, tore his neck, had right off over there almost. Pax didn't have any choice, he had to admit defeat, just begging for his life. He agrees to let Rudy go, but he still had to pay the price for everything that happened. And I like that ZANOBA is very strong. We don't really know what exactly his power is besides super strength. He still obliterates his arm, just twisting it right off over there like a corkscrew. He had it coming. Honestly, I don't care what anybody says. Pax deserved that after everything he did, after everything he put everybody through, all of the stupid shit, scummy, asshole things he has done to people, and how far he was willing to go to get his deranged wishes. Hopefully, he gets a lesson from this entire incident, so to say the least, and kind of straightens himself out. But I'm not so sure. When you have those deranged ideas, I don't know. Don't even think we're gonna see more of Pax, but I could be way off of that. I hope we're gonna see more ZANOBA, but we'll talk more about that towards the end of the episode. One last scene. Now we have all of them being released with the families, everybody being reunited. This entire last act of the episode, so to say, was super wholesome. And even Lilia was great this episode. She returns the treasure box to Rudy with his precious relics. I was very happy to see him. She took care of the treasure box, and we even find out that there's a token from Sylvie there. It was supposed to be a 10th birthday present for him. This kind of gets Rudy thinking of Sylvie. Hopefully we're gonna find out what happened to her and Zenith and everybody else, because we don't really have any information about them. Aisha was also very cute this episode, and the conversation between Lilia and Rudy, how much she cares for Rudy, and even saying you still haven't changed, with Rudy still being a pervert thanks to that hug. Now Aisha rushes over, and Lilia kind of in the carriage there, listening to what they were talking, and Aisha asks Rudy, can I go with you in the journey? She still doesn't like her brother. Man, she played it perfectly. I gotta give her credit so much. Now Lilia also is a different kind of mother, so to say. But she has been teaching Aisha when she says, I'll be voluptuous later on when I grow up. And even Rudy karate chopped Aisha. A girl shouldn't say things like that, especially his sister. So he's also growing in this moment, and Aisha kind of learning some questionable things from Lilia, to say the least. I like the moment where Rudy gives her his forehead, the protector thing, as a memento to remember somebody by, and even not telling him, hey, your brother probably did the same thing, alluding to his treasure box with the relics, and kind of making her understand a bit, even though he's just a pervert, let's be honest. Now, the last moment when they're saying their goodbyes, we have them waving, and Aisha just goes, sorry I called you a pervert, big brother. And she knew all along. Man, I love Aisha. She's so smart, especially for a kid her age, so cute. He deserves an Oscar for that thing. And Rudy just completely dumbfounded. He had no idea. Like I said, and he said he was the odd man out. And a bit of a addendum, how they put it. Find out that Pax and ZANOBA, they had to take responsibility for everything that happened, or they were made to take responsibility. They even were exiled to study abroad. Hopefully we get to see more of ZANOBA, because I really liked him, especially when opening a bag of chips. But yeah, this episode was super fun and wholesome, and I'm excited for more. This show is so good. I love it. Honestly, it's becoming one of my favorites, if not my favorite, and we're getting pretty close to second core or part 2 or season 2, however you want to call it. Hopefully we're gonna get an announcement that we're gonna get more of it, because I would love so. Now, I'm curious what you guys thought about the episode. What was your favorite moment in the episode? Please tell me it was the opening the bag of chips right there. And what do you think about the reunion between Rudy and Lilia, and especially about Aisha and her knowing all along? So let me know down in the comments below. As always, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, helps me quite a lot, and you guys get the latest videos on the series that I follow. So keep enjoying Mushoku. I'll see you again in the next one. Bye bye.